Hi, I'm Colin Bennett from the Department of Political Science at the University of Victoria. And for the last 25 years or so, I've been researching and writing about privacy and data protection, the protection of personal data, both nationally and internationally, and the rules that are put in place by countries and by international organizations to protect personal data and give individuals certain rights over how that data is processed. I've written a number of books on the subject, The Governance of Privacy, which is about the policies that have been established at international and national levels. I've written a book about the civil society organizations, the NGOs. It's called The Privacy Advocates. I also write about specific technologies and practices, such as identity cards. I wrote a book called Playing the Identity Card. And most recently, we wrote a book about big events and how those events have pushed security and surveillance to new levels, and which tend to endure after the event is finished. In all of this debate, the Europeans have been leaders. About 18 years ago, they passed a directive which established a very high level of protection within the European Union and established a network of supervisory authorities which get complaints from citizens and which regulate the way that personal data is used within the community. That directive has had effects outside of the European Union, because the Europeans have also said that data should not flow out of the EU unless the receiving jurisdiction can guarantee an adequate level of protection. So therefore that has had an effect on the United States and on Canada and on other countries. This year, the Europeans decided to revise their directive and establish a common regulation which will apply to all countries, and which arguably makes the rules more relevant for the international, interoperable, networked relations of the 21st century. The rules, however, have been very controversial, and they have attracted a lot of lobbying from big data companies like Google, Facebook, and others, who argue that they're going to prevent innovation and that they're going to be impossible to implement at an international level. We don't know yet how the results of these negotiations will turn out. There will be a lengthy process of analysis by the European Parliament and by the Commission and so on. But it's clear that whatever comes out at the end of the process, that the new European Data Protection Regulation will establish the rules of the road for the processing of personal data on global networks for many years to come. And that's something that I have been studying and will be studying over the next few years.